Yuta Kotsu has been a major part of the latest chapters of JJK. And with everything that has been going on, there is a lot of talks about what Yuta could possibly be doing in the next few chapters or could have possibly done. What I'm specifically going to be talking about today is what if Yuta actively took Gojo's 6 eyes after his battle with Sukuna. Obviously, don't know if really could happen, but it really was a thought that a lot of people were having, and I've heard the conversation go around. So I just really wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on what I possibly think could have went down if that scenario could have even possibly fathomably happened. So before we get into the video, obviously you guys see the new custom art that I have for like just my character and everything else like that, and if you guys do like it, please go down in the comments, go down in the description and actively go check out the Fiverr link down there to maybe see who made it for me. And if you guys like it, please feel free to go buy something yourself. But with all of that said and done, I would actively like to just talk about this idea. Obviously, this would be a really like talking about like, oh yeah, this is kind of like Naruto, like just Yuta taking Gojo's eyes and like implanting them into himself, getting the 6 eyes for himself, which really would be something extremely cool. But the ramifications of this happening would really be changing up how the last few chapters have went. Obviously, we know Gojo passed away, and if you guys didn't know this, sorry, but we know Gojo passed away after his fight with Sukuna, and it doesn't look like he's returning. A lot of people are saying that he could possibly return, but it doesn't look like he's going to be returning anytime soon. So with that said, we have been seeing exactly what the ramifications of Sukuna doing that have obviously been. And Sukuna's been going on a complete rampage for the last like whatever, like 14 like chapters or whatever, like few chapters that has been going around, where he's really been just taking a complete stroll on so many people. And now we're just getting to the point where Yuji and Yuta are actively fighting Sukuna and doing a lot of damage to at this point, having Sukuna basically locked away in hollow wicker basket and things like that. And it's really just come to my like attention, like with Yuta's domain expansion and everything that he's basically been able to do, how much would have changed if he actively had access to the 6 eyes? And in my honest opinion, the story would really be changing quite dramatically if he was able to take 6 eyes and just like accounting for any time that it would probably take to like just for his eyes to heal and recover, things like that. First of all, he would actively be able to have to access like infinity, limitless, and all of the techniques that Gojo did have and everything else like that. And in my opinion, if we actually just say that he was able to copy them, and for like this specific what if and whatever, if we say that he was able to copy those techniques and like any of Gojo's techniques, it would really be quite literally a wrap for Sukuna. Like, even if we're not saying like he's able to completely like copy like Gojo's like infinity or whatever, and he's not able to like imitate the same thing, because he wouldn't be able to really perfectly use it automatically. He's not going to be able to like have it be the same level as Gojo was able to use, where infinity's like activated at all times and nobody can even get anywhere right next to him. He would actively have to work on keeping infinity up and everything else like that. But even then, it would be one of those things where Yuta would just really be even more of a threat. Even right now, we're seeing his domain expansion be such a big threat, but if he was able to just throw off hollow red, like just like hollow purples, reds, blues, whatever, and he's able to throw them off at Sukuna while everything is going on right now, it would just be an insane turn of events, strictly due to the fact that Yuta at that point would actively be able to most likely take out Sukuna into some extent. Sukuna is extremely damaged at this point in time, and he's just now getting to the point where he's able to heal up and getting more of his actual things back and everything back, because Gojo actually did damage him and put some damage to his body. So Yuta being able to access any of Gojo's abilities and any of Gojo's techniques would be such a one scare to Sukuna automatically. But then it would really get to the point of Yuta just being the main threat that Sukuna now has to deal with, because it's just basically like having finished fighting Gojo and then automatically having to fight Gojo again. It would just not be working well for him in any specific standpoint, in any specific matter of the fact. Yuta would be out and dominating completely in every singular fact. Yuji at that point would really just be taking a back step in almost every singular aspect, because at this point they're both really needing to do a lot of things. And Yuji has been obviously shown that he can actively now do a lot of things, managing to get RCT in basically a month, and being able to do all the things that he's doing at this exact moment. But Yuta with Infinity would just basically mean Yuji can't really do much. It's just going to be a fight between Yuta and Sukuna, and Sukuna's not going to be able to do much if Yuji even pulls out his domain and is able to do that. If he doesn't pull out his domain, okay, then Sukuna might stand some kind of a chance because he can actively use all of his moves. But if Yuji still pulls out his domain and still does the same thing that he's doing right now with his domain and everything else like that, it would really, really screw over Sukuna, in the sense of Sukuna's not going to be able to really get anything done. Some of the events probably would still occur and everything else like that, with Sukuna being able to have complete access to the merger and everything else like that might still end up happening. But there's a lot of events that really would just take a complete turn and switch to the left that no one would even be expecting. First of all, Yuta probably would actively be able to deal with Sukuna, which would deal with all the events that are going on right now. And but that's the big issue, is where how much and how strong is Sukuna compared to Yuta and everything else like that. Because it would really, the big problem is Yuta would have to actively get used to all of Gojo's abilities. Specifically, if we're saying that, and we're trying to figure out exactly if he had them or whatever. If he was able to copy them during Gojo's fight, or he was able to copy them a little before then, even still, he's not going to be able to have access to complete control of everything that Gojo was able to do within an instant. He would have to actually figure out how to completely use them to the same level of proficiency that Gojo was able to use them at. And I'm not going to be able to say that, he would be able to completely get that proficiency extremely quickly, or he would already have that proficiency or whatever like that. That would just be me guessing and everything else like that, which I'm not going to be trying to do, because it wouldn't actively make sense, or me trying to do things like that. But really, the base narrative that I would really see going on in this is Yuta would be able to just really cause and create a lot of havoc if this scenario was even able to possibly take place. It would be a scenario that I honestly see the entirety of the JJK story going forward just takes a quick stop right there, because Sukuna is basically dealt with, and it just causes all things to really go so much faster. Basically, anybody else that would be able to possibly die in the events going now wouldn't happen. Anything that would be going wrong wouldn't happen. Everything would just basically go into a correctly good mode, and everyone would basically be safe. The story would basically end right there, because Yuta is able to take out Sukuna, in my mind, and any of the rest of the threats would be able to get handled extremely quickly, because there's a 6 eyes user on board to stop the merger, because that is what the 6 eyes are for, to stop the merger. And now Yuta would have the 6 eyes, so it's not, Gojo is the person that deals with the merger. It's a 6 eyes user that stops the merger, which is always necessary, which has been happening for so long and everything else like that. So please put your comments down below about what you guys would have think that this, what you guys think could have possibly happened if this idea actually came to fruition. Kenjaku had his insane master plan, but this would really, really put a hick in those plans, in my honest opinion. But put your opinions down in the comments below, checking below, and I hope that you guys did enjoy this video. Peace.